Hello everybody out there, Tim again here for another great rhythm lesson today. So I hope everybody's feeling good, everybody's motivated to do another rhythm session with us. So what we're doing here today is we're going to talk about triplets again, as well as a very introduction to 16th notes. So we'll do one or two examples of each and just improve our rhythm that much more. Remember that if you feel like you learned something from this video, always give that like button a nice punch, and that would be very helpful. Or leave a comment if you really have any questions or you want to say thanks. Feel free to just leave it in the comments and I will see it and I will appreciate it very much. Alright, so let's take a look here. So last time we were talking about triplets, right? So let me get the right pen here. Let's do another color today, why not? We're going to do green. It's a green kind of day. It is getting springtime here, at least at the time I am recording this. And then, of course, it does weird stuff, so let's check it out. Oops. Doesn't want to cooperate. That's not a P, that was a 3. There we go. Fifth time is the charm with this stuff. Alright, so we have our triplet here, right? And now I'm going to draw out a couple of notes. Alright, let me make sure, actually the first question I have for us, or everybody, is do we have the correct amount of beats in that measure? I'll let you think about it for a second. We actually have too many, right? So if you counted them, let's just count them together and then we'll get rid of any beats that we need. We have one triplet. We remember that before, where you take the number plus triplet. And then here you have 2. It technically takes up 2 and. Here's beat 3. And then this is actually and 4. So this one, this extra one would be and actually it would be and 5 since it has to bleed over into another beat. So really all we have to do to fix this is change this one into an 8th note. So now we have a different type of rhythm here than what we've seen. Although we did have this in one of the practice sessions. So remember to check out the playlist in the description to see all these great lessons all in a row. If you want to binge watch, I don't discourage that kind of thing. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to count this as one triplet. So that's just beat 1. That's pretty easy. Now we got to talk about the next beat, 2 and then now we have 3, right? But it's only an 8th note, so it only takes up the first half of beat 3. So you have one triplet, 2 and 3. And then this next quarter note is going to be and 4, and then you have and, that last 8th note. So it's going to go 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once again, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there you go. Not too hard. It's always just a little bit different when you have only one 8th note by itself, because that will usually shift over the beat a little bit and it will sound a little bit different. Okay, let's try another one. Hello still to the one person who is watching us. I do realize that this time of day most people are at work at school. Alright, so let's try. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to do 16th notes now. I'm just going to introduce them, do one or two examples, and then we will go over those examples later. So we have... So now with 16th notes, they look almost identical to 8th notes, except... Let's see if I can get them to show up. Let's see, come on. There we go. One more. Boom. Okay, so now we have 16th notes. So anytime you put another flag on these, like you notice how now there's 2 lines, I could add 3 if I really wanted. Every time you add a flag, that's what we call them, or those bars across, you're cutting the note values in half. So if you have 1 bar, you're cutting each beat into 2 halves, like right there. But if you have 1 bar, you're cutting it in half. If you have 2, you're cutting the beat into 4 parts. So we have to talk about that. Let me write out the rest of this measure because it likes to change the spacing and everything and the formatting. Alright, let's take a look. We'll just leave it at that. Make the rest of the beats easy. So now we have to talk about how to count this. Well, before we had just beat 1, right? So I can assume that all 4 of these belong in beat 1. So I'm going to count the rest of the measure, 2, 3, 4. And remember that when we were splitting up the beats in halves, we had 1 and. So if I condense these 2 into one beat, that would be 1/8 note. And then if I condense those 2, that would be another 1/8 note. But now we have 4 parts, so we have to talk about that. You count that as 1. This is E, and we still have and like before. So 1 E and. So remember that this is 4 times as fast as you're going to be counting your quarter notes. So you got 1 E and you have 2, 3, 4. So again, 1 E and 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1 E and 2, 3, 4. I guess they're all on E's technically. 1 E and 2, 3, 4. And then if you want to be as accurate as possible, you can keep counting the E and does for the quarter notes. You will still just be playing the note on the beat though. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So notice I still just played those last 3 quarter notes. I just counted out the rest of the rhythm, assuming if they were 16th notes. And that really just helps you make sure you're maintaining a consistent counting for your basis of counting. So one other way to get great at this is to use the metronome. We'll be talking more about the metronome. I've actually talked about it quite a lot in my, not quite a lot, but I made quite a few videos in my online music academy, which I'll talk about in a second. So yeah, we have 1 E and 2, 3, 4. So next time we'll talk more about 16th notes, more about triplets, of course, and then we'll probably move further and further into like things like 6/8 and 9/8, and maybe combinations of 16th and 8th note rhythms. So remember to like the video if you like something, and subscribe if you want all these great updates, because I do put out a lot of content on this channel now where, you know, we live stream together. Then I kind of put out the lessons later as I edit them and make them, you know, as coherent as possible. So it doesn't include all the rambling. But anyway, if you're actually looking to get to that next level in your music education, you want to become a better piano player, become a better rhythm player, and much more of this kind of stuff, head over to lessonsontheweb.com, where I run my online piano academy, where you can learn a lot more about this kind of stuff. So lessonsontheweb.com. And by the way, if you sign up for my academy, which is a great deal compared to a lot of other offerings out there, especially if you sign up for like a whole year or something like that, you get a great value. This is basically a way to not only help yourself learn more about piano, but it will help Lessons on the Web and its vision as well in teaching the world piano, since, you know, the more resources we have to work with, the better the quality will be. I can hire people and things like that. So remember, not only are you helping yourself, you're helping the whole world learn piano, and helping me too as well. So thanks as always for listening. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you for the next rhythm or music theory or piano lesson. Thank you.